and Sean Farnham.
And we welcome those of you joining us. Great win for Wofford as they punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. We're out here in Las Vegas. Dave Fleming, Sean Farnham. Semifinal game number 1 of 2 tonight here at the Orleans Arena. And we have a true, incredible underdog story in this first matchup. Mitchell Saxon and St. Mary's dominated the league in the regular season.
You cannot turn the ball over against a team like St. Mary's. Because of how they run their offense, they force you to have to fight through so many screens.
Jordan Ross, pull-up jumper is good. Plus, he got fouled by the big man Koulibaly, who's been in foul trouble all tournament long, and he fouls a jump shooter here. And just to go back to your point about Pepperdine and the turnovers, Ross missed final game. Pretty amazing. Plus all the adversity they faced on their own campus off the court all year long. It's been a very trying year for the Pepperdine community. Todorovic scores the bucket plus the foul. Play here for Stefan Todorovic, and he makes the free throw. The fire's in Malibu. Campus closed, evacuated, students, faculty, staff, basketball team, everybody impacted.
They were practicing at Cal Lu in Thousand Oaks.
Couldn't even get into their own practice facility. There's Marshallonis, the back-to-back most outstanding player in this conference, and he gets his first basket.
You think winner when you think of Augustus Marshallonis. He impacts the game at both ends of the floor. He's tenacious at defensively, and offensively, he is their heartbeat.
Odom drives baseline. Odom gets his first basket of the night.
I asked him, I said, how are you feeling? He goes, I feel like I haven't played a game in 2 weeks. I said, are you being honest or you're lying to me? He didn't answer that question. I love it, though. His mentality, he's got such a great motor, such a great heart.
Marshallonis, that's his second basket in a row.
Augustus Marshallonis struggled in the St. Mary's team.
That's a good point. Some of it is just purely making some shots. A drive along the baseline. Butka. Vitas Butka got cut off. Here's Todorovic, pulls up for a three with a hand in his face, but he knocks it down. I think the offense, Sean, shot clock down to 10. Wessels double teamed. Here's Luke Barrett, left side. That three way too strong.
He hesitated in his release.
How about Butka running the floor? That doesn't happen to the Gales very often.
You have the opportunity to throw ahead, you better. And Pepperdine with a lead. This is exactly, if you're Ed Schilling, what you would hope for.
Marshallonis finds Barrett again. This time he doesn't shoot the three.
When you make shots, you can set your defense.
Saxon drives. Saxon off balance, but a foul call. All year on a team that won 4 conference games, was 11-21.
Might get all the way to Selection Sunday. And you will talk about players that dominated their conference tournament. And Mo Odom might be a name that nationally we're going to be talking about.
He went right by the St. Mary's defender and gets the bucket. Tell you what, a 7-0 Pep tournament berth, which would be one of the most likely in the history of this sport. Ross, a spin move, got cut off. Barrett, wide open three. That one goes down.
Luke Barrett dominated in the 2 games against Pepperdine, averaging 16 points per game in those 2 contests. Shot the ball really, really well.
And he's a role player on this team. They don't always need big points from him, but if he's open, he needs to make some of those shots. Odom, another three.
Dave, it was pure as soon as it came off his fingertips.
This guy has a feeling of it's going to be another fun night for Pepperdine. Saxon down low. Extra pass. Barrett, instead of shooting the three, gets closer to the basket. That was a good move.
Strong move. Luke Barrett, transfer from Pomona Pitzer, Division III, walked on to St. Mary's, leaves here as a captain.
And a guy who hardly ever comes out of a game.
He's a warrior. He's just tough and physical.
Odom got another look, and he banked it in.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. My man is on fire right now.
Absolutely incredible.
He has 10 of the 18.
10 against maybe one of the best defensive teams in the country in the first 8 minutes of the game. Wessels, that was a tough move. Barrett got the offensive rebound and scores again.
Remember I said Luke Barrett performed really well against these guys. This whole game so far, it hasn't really been any fluidity to how they play offensively versus what we saw during the regular season.
Yeah, it's a good point because, look, this conference tournament is laid out a little differently than most. Lewis catches and scores. That's what he does. Marciulionis was trying to feed Morauskas, who's setting up down low. He'll get a catch. Polis Morauskas, the newcomer of the year in conference play.
Big on big pass. If you're going to double big on big, you can't vacate the back.
The top two seeds get the bye all the way into the semifinals, so they haven't played all week. A little turnaround move from the freshman Danilo Dozic, in and out, no good. Gales on a run. Marciulionis attacks against Odom, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Again, if he doesn't, what you're going to end up doing is giving up a wide open layup, and it was Odom that got
of that. St. Mary's
will.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Gales, and they'll be rooting hard for the Zags later tonight. Another high-low pass. This time it was Saxon to Morauskas, so they went in reverse, and they draw another foul.
And that's the 5th foul.
Lithuanian native. So is the guy at the free throw line, Morauskas. They played the Lithuanian national anthem. They gave away T-shirts for a game this year.
Really good job matching up in transition. And when Marciulionis getting to Todorovic, that's not who he should be on. They're out of sorts as far as their matchups. You need help here.
Dozic draws a foul against Lewis.
So you got to recognize them.
The two-time defensive player of the year in this conference told us, yeah, sometimes they stay up, sometimes they don't, sometimes they'll rewatch.
You think they set the alarm this morning?
I do. I think a semifinal game in a conference championship tournament, I think they're watching.
That's dedication.
We're going to pretend.
I'm not sure my family's watching.
And see, look what they got to see. That's a whole nother issue. We can work on that maybe a little later.
I'll talk that one off at Whole Foods tomorrow.
Augustas Marciulionis, just a special career at St. Mary's. Odom drives. Odom, count the basket plus a foul. Little hesitation from Gregory Nixon.
Conversation. He told me about how I compete and how I play the game the right way. And I have never for a team, the guy that has the ball in the corner, he's the guy you have to tag. Mikey Lewis is the best three-point shooter on the floor.
Gets it back from Marciulionis and rushed it maybe, but the ball comes to Morauskas, and that'll be free throws from. And yet they don't get burned in transition. They do.
Where they're positioned out on the floor. Then if you do not get it, there is a sense of urgency and a made bucket.
Give them both. Just give them both. Marciulionis, Lewis had to save it in bounds. They are paying a lot of attention to Mikey Lewis.
I would too.
Saxon spin move. That was a tough move by the big man.
Mitchell's, wherever 5 goes, you have to go with him. I don't care if he's standing at the bench. Go stand with him. Play 4-on-4 and make somebody else beat you.
We've sort of wondered that these last few nights, why that hasn't been a little bit more of the strategy. Really strong move by Morauskas.
Tournament. Only one quad 1 victory on the season. Not going to have an opportunity again in that tournament until they take on potentially Duke. Wake Forest needs to go on a run. SMU needs to go on a run. Like, remember the ACC last year? NC State, out of nowhere, wins the ACC tournament and gets into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we've seen it happen.
But it's going to take some sort of run like that, in particular for Wake and SMU.
Odom got beat off the dribble, and he fouled Marciulionis to prevent giving up the uncontested big news.
You do wonder if the gas is going to run out of the tank.
Yeah, it would be. They've played close games that have come right down to the end. That'll be an over the back.
Who has had a great year.
They have. The best team, I think, in the A-10. Morauskas with 2 fouls on the bench for St. Mary's, so they got the 2 big man alignment out there again. Lewis hits Saxon, who just short-armed it, but I guess the reason he did was he got fouled. Early on, they were piling up fouls.
Mitchell Saxon does a lot.
Made that one. I'll tell you one more thing about it.
Luke Barrett has done a good job defending him.
He'll drive, dish it. Shot blocked, but a foul against Wessels. That was 4A. He'll go to the free throw line.
I would.
First year at Pepperdine. Yeah, you imagine he came up short. You imagine the year in a really special way, but the adversity.
California, it was very scary, and for these young men to be displaced and have their whole world turned upside down. They're representing their university with a great deal of pride with the fight and the resiliency that they're showing here.
Offensive rebounds for St. Mary's, dominating.
It wears you out, Dave. It wears you out. Score. But, man, he brings a resiliency to how they play. He's a scrapper.
Saxon grabs another offensive rebound. There were too many Gales there. It prevented him from getting a layup. Now Saxon will grab another one, and they're going to call him for a foul.
UConn, and they had the lead when Alex Dukas, back to what Coach was just talking about, imposing your will. We've been mentioning this during the course of this game. But it is who they are. They get a lot of offensive rebounds. Not at that clip. Nobody does. But a really good offensive rebounding team.
I think that does help you, don't you, in an NCAA tournament setting where even if you have an off-shooting game in a win-or-go-home situation, never played in the NCAA tournament, is going to take an outsized responsibility for a run if the Gales are going to make it.
He also never played in the kennel. And then he did. And when he did, in the second half in particular, he was awesome.
Good point.
Awesome. So I don't think he...
Wessel's big man, who's a really good free throw shooter. He is a huge
spurts of really good play.
He'll check. Winner of this game takes on the winner of Gonzaga, San Francisco. That's our second semifinal game. Coming up when we're finished with this one over on ESPN2. And San Francisco is kind of an amazing story, what they did last night in their turn.
He did a lot of things really well last night. They're going to need to rinse and repeat. And to St. Mary's has all of a sudden turned it on to a different level.
Tough three, no good. Ross got pushed by Olvera. Everybody rebounds for the Gales. Big men, guards. Jordan Ross will go shoot free throws at the other end.
Ed Schilling, frustrated on the sideline, just gave a big clap. Has tried to figure them out. Only one team beat them, and that was USF at home.
The only conference loss for the Gales. One thing, St. Mary's, it's a little bit of an Achilles heel. They are not a great free throw shooting team at times. And they missed 7 free throws in this first half. Still up by 12.
Well, and that goes back to Jay Will's point. You want to make the second week of the tournament, you better make some free throws.
That's a good move and a much-needed basket for Pepperdine. Shot clock off. St. Mary's is going to hold for the final shot. Remember, Odom's got 2 fouls, so he does have to be careful here. Marshallonis attacks with the left hand. No. Rebound. Pepperdine just couldn't get a shot off, and that's how the first half comes to an end.
The pace of play is exactly where St. Mary's wants it. Let's pull it back out.
That's how they play. It's been a winning formula for them for a long time. One of the winningest programs in college basketball over many, many years, and there's the first basket of the second half.
And Marshallonis just so smooth, getting to his spot. Plays under great control.
He was a role player first few years of his career, first couple of years at least. Butka, he was double teamed, but he found Koulibaly, who dunks it home. That's his first string for my life. It's just a basketball.
I understand that, but you've got spring training, a whole Major League Baseball season ahead of you, the Masters.
We got another whole game to call tonight alone. Todorovic, he flips it up and in.
Good balance that time by Todorovic, drifting away but squaring his shoulders and getting up high on the glass.
Hey, Pepperdine's hanging in there. They're down 8. Rauskas didn't shoot the 3. Another whistle against Pepperdine.
Aggressive. Luke Barrett has closed up that gap, and sometimes by being low on the catch and ripping and going without hesitation.
Against Dozic. There's a shot attempt for Odom, although he had to work real hard to get it, and he missed it. Tried to steal it away from Rauskas, who drives all the way and scores.
Yeah, he saw the mismatch of Odom being on him and thought that that was advantage for him.
Look at Marshallonis again.
Is there a better guard in the country getting on the body of bigs in the open floor than Marshallonis? We saw him do it up in Spokane. He's done it twice here tonight.
Those are hard plays.
Those are effort plays.
The 3, no good.
Just like that one is for Luke Barrett.
Big time.
They're going to look to isolate Mitchell Saxon here in this matchup. They bring in help. The double team comes.
very patient, passed out of it, but Marciulionis, I don't know what happened on that one. He's a good outside shooter. Ball caroms to Morauskas again.
Back-to-back possessions where they get offensive rebounds and they get putbacks.
Kind of a weirdly ugly miss from outside. Odom trying to pick his way along the baseline, trying to find some kind of opening. He's just been hounded. Passed it to Coulibaly. Coulibaly got pinned, but he finds a way to get the ball.
That's their second chance points. 11-0 in this game in second chance points. And they have opportunity to add to that total on this possession. The other thing is the ability to draw fouls.
Marciulionis lays it.
Part of it is taking pride in the assignment. What is your assignment? How much pride do you have in it?
There's Barrett again. He gets another basket.
That's a player that's really experienced, and he knows exactly what he's being asked to do and never steps outside of his role.
Good way to put it. That's why he almost never comes off the floor for Randy Bennett.
He's the reason an ESPN top 100 recruit is redshirting this year.
Odom. So you're talking about not quite 20.
Purpose in that high post area.
In and out. Morauskas grabs a good defensive rebound. Jordan Ross is going to go all the way. Nice reverse layup. They clinched the outright conference title.
Mikey Lewis
on the Zags floor. Mikey Lewis just checked in the game. We saw it in those matchups against the Zags where they were struggling for long stretches, and he was the guy. Morauskas, that's a tough shot.
He's good, though. If they continue to build off of that, they could get there again. The path isn't going to be as easy this year because the seeding is not typical to what we've seen for them.
Yeah, they could use a couple wins here in Vegas big time. Odom throws it up, and Coulibaly throws it down. Great pass.
Odom, really good player.
He is.
Just a junior.
Marciulionis attacks with a foul.
WCC.
I think you've done a really good job tonight. Like, look, there he misses the free throw. He's only 6 of 4.
Force you to shoot shots with a hand in your face consistently. Lewis wanted to shoot that one.
Now he's trying to earn some more minutes, though, so don't shoot bad shots. Morauskas flips it up and in. He's having a nice game.
This program is strong. If I told you, and a lot of fans tuning in that have starters from last year's team, they're better this year.
An NBA player, and then a guy who went to UConn, and a guy who T.J. Otzelberger told me last week has been Iowa State's most consistently good player all year. Rebound, no. Knocked back to Marciulionis. Another chance for St. Mary's. Good pass. Wessel scores. Important here in Vegas as the WCC championship wraps up. Odom flips it up to Coulibaly, who got fouled. Another good pass from Mo Odom.
He puts it on time so frequently for his bigs.
Stretch. And there are a lot of people around.
Time and time again in those money moments.
Second free throw good. Got the call right, did it quickly. Odom to the bucket.
A little different when Marciulionis is a guard.
I guarantee you he's thinking that. Ross, Odom still playing hard on defense. Lewis, really tough shot, but he makes it.
He's got it all in the bag. He needs to be refined in other areas. But his ability to spin off the defense and make shots. Oh, wait, Mitchell Saxon's coming back in.
Al Duke scores. On the bench this year, redshirting, big-time recruit. Mikey Lewis was a top 100 player. Jordan Ross was a top 100 player. They're starting to come to Moraga.
Well, and it's not just the international guys. If you want to get developed, you look at the players. I mean, the biggest selling point for Randy Bennett, Tommy Kuhse was a walk-up. Malik Fitz,
many others. Jordan Ford had an amazing the guard play, the history of guard play. I grew up watching St. Mary's and all those great players out. And he's another guy who has a chance to develop into a good one.
Randy Bennett keeps telling us he's going to be a great big in our program. And he can't get out on the floor.
Yeah, can't find minutes. And they'll play the winner of Gonzaga, San Francisco.
Well, worth noting, too, that Mo Odom checked out of the game for Pepperdine. And just so much fun watching him compete, lead, and inspire his team. He's standing on the bench clapping right now. Very limited bench, but their starting five is fantastic.
Jordan Ross and St. Mary's, and a pushing foul against Pepperdine.
14 offensive rebounds and chance points.
Free throw missed. That's not very good. Below 60% as a team. Olvera turns and hits the jumper.
Well, he can score, and that brings the game to 20.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a town where, meanwhile, Pepperdine, they're also getting some of their bench players a chance. That's a turnover, and Bennett, lead pass, and a good one for an assist.
Would you expect anything less?
Other than Marshallonis did a pretty good job in this game. Olvera, runner, goes down. So it's back down to 20 with 1:34 to go.
Malik Thomas. They rebounded the ball really well last night in that game that they had against Santa Clara. Washington State. They need to rebound that ball at the same clip that they did last night.
Three on the way. Left side is good for Pepperdine. That's David Major, his first basket of this tournament. Under a minute to go. 17-point lead. Dominant performance tonight from St. Mary's. After Pepperdine got off to the quick start, Cade Bennett missed the shot. McKeever, offensive rebound. Dent will shoot a three. No. And Olvera comes away with it. A little spirit in the crowd somehow these last couple minutes. That's a foul, and Jackson Olvera will shoot free throws. Just a whole different challenge tonight.
They're methodical. They're surgical. That is a great season, no matter what conference you play in, and to sweep Gonzaga, very impressive.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe a third matchup with the Zags coming up tomorrow night. Tonight, though, first semifinal game here in Las Vegas, and St. Mary's is going to dribble out the final seconds. The Gales come away with a 74-59 win. The magic run for Pepperdine comes to an end. They just got bulldozed by an outstanding St. Mary's team.
And they're a team that has that look and that feel to a second weekend NCAA tournament team. They do.